Hey everybody, welcome back to Honeycomb Manila. My name is Keo Kosha, and today we are talking about what we are calling the sneaker of the year. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching our channel. Now, if you are enjoying our content both on the sneaker and on the coffee and drink side, please do make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of our new content. And hit that thumbs up button. It does go a long way for us with the YouTube algorithm and all that stuff. And then if you'd like to, please do follow along on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram. I am at Keo Kosha, but also follow at Ajimamag and at Honeycomb Manila on Instagram, especially because we have some giveaways. And with that, let's dive right in. Today, I wanted to show you and give you a peek at what I believe to be the sneaker of the year 2020. And I'm sure you figured it out just by looking at the title of the video or the thumbnail, but our sneaker of the year is the Union Jordan 4. Now, we don't have a pair of the Guava Ice colorway. We have this Off Noir and Red colorway. But if I had to choose between the two, I would probably say that the Guava is probably more of a better candidate for sneaker of the year. But this is what we got here in the Philippines. And this sneaker is fantastic. Made by the store Union from Fairfax in LA. This sneaker came out in mid-2020, which was a challenging year for all communities. But Union being such a, kind of like an important linchpin in the sneaker culture and, skate streetwear culture community, they really made something really special with this sneaker. Now, let's go through the details and then we'll talk a bit about what makes this sneaker different. So it is a Jordan 4 with Nike on the bottom, Nike Air on the back of the heel tab. And then the sneaker itself has a yellow painted midsole, same polyurethane midsole. Inside the air bubble, you have a kind of a deep yellow color, very similar to this deep kind of orange yellow color for the laces, and that's the air bubble in there. The whole feeling has this kind of vintage aged vibe. And then above that, you have some very, very nice, I'm trying to see if we can get that on the video, some very nice high quality thick cut suede, and you can really see how thick it is there. And this is some of the thickest suede I've ever seen on a Jordan 4, but any sneaker really. They pulled out all the stops material-wise on this one, which brings us a bit further up to these mesh panels. And the mesh is a very nice, wide but dense mesh. So that means that the weaves are big, so you can see them, but it is very dense and plush. Lots of padding in there. And then something that really sets it apart is that because they have that nice mesh on the toe, which is unusual to Jordan 4s, you almost never, I actually think this might be the first Jordan 4 ever with a mesh toe. You have that same mesh running on the inside behind the white netting. That attention to detail of having a really nice high quality material, even though it's kind of obscured by this netting, is one of the things that for me really elevates this sneaker to another level. And then you have the suede return here on some paneling adjustments. Over here on the lateral side, on the medial side, but it is the same on the lateral sides. But let's look over here. You have the white lace crown here in the top, and then over here in the back, you have kind of this gummy colored red lace crown, and it extends down to this translucent, also kind of gummy style wing where it's not cut out. Now, I want to bring in another sneaker we just recently unboxed, which is a fire red Jordan 4. And we're going to use this sneaker as kind of the pattern because this sneaker is very true to the OG, the original Jordan 4. So we're going to put them side by side over here so we can do some comparison. In terms of materials on the outsole, it looks like they're the same hard rubber on the outsole, and then the midsole uses this polyurethane, seems to be similar density, and they are both painted. Of course, this one is in like more colors, and the Union just has the single color throughout the entire midsole. This is polyurethane, and this is, you know, a hard rubber, but you can see that there is kind of a little bit of a visual color difference side by side. Now, here's what I was talking about with the mesh. On the Jordan 4, the mesh is a little bit thinner here underneath the netting. And here on the Union LA, it's nice and fat and plush like the toe. As you look into that netting, you have the Union LA or UN/LA tag here on the lateral side, appears on both sneakers. And then, as I was saying, here you have the wings, and that little wing section has a hole on almost, well, on every other Jordan 4, and here they decided to just have this kind of debossed section to kind of indicate where the hole would go. I've seen some people cut them out, but I think that that's kind of one of the things that makes this sneaker so unique and makes it special. Now, the entire sneaker up until this point has been that off noir color in the upper, and then when you get the collar, you have a very nice blue mesh. That same very plush mesh from the toe returns here. Now, usually when you're talking about mesh and synthetics, nylons, you usually don't consider them premium materials, but this does have a very premium feel to it for some reason, even though it is a mesh, it is a nylon. In the lining, you can see that the padding is a little bit thicker on the Unions, and then they have this kind of fleece style lining versus this kind of ribbed line pattern lining that's on the Fire Reds. Now, very important, let's talk about paneling, because here is one of the very major differences why this is arguably a completely different shoe from the original Fire Red or the original Jordan 4. And as you can see here, as the suede runs up towards the first crown, it cuts so that you can get the mesh section on the toe, whereas over here on the Fire Red, it just continues into the toe section. This is usually where you would get the wrinkles on a leather sneaker. Now, because they also wanted to have that suede material run up against the mesh, they also had to change the paneling here in the toe section, the toe box, and you can see it very clearly here because of the single stitching that goes around this section of the toe box, which connects into the eye stays, is that you have this extra panel of leather, of suede there that just doesn't appear on the original Jordan 4. Here's what caused most of the controversy for Union when this sneaker first launched, is that when it was leaked, the pictures had it shown like this with the tongue folded down, and a lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people just didn't get it. And then over here you see like where it says Air Jordan, and it's sewn down, and then you can just read Union just underneath it, and that is a lot of attention to detail. Now, if I was to do that with a Fire Red 4, it would say Air Jordan Flight, but it wouldn't line up quite the same way. So some special attention did need to be paid to move that Air Jordan tag slightly higher on the inside of the tongue so that it would reveal. They said over at Union that the reason they did this was because this is how they wore their sneakers when this first came out in the early 90s. Hype beasts and sneakerheads are all up in arms about whether or not that was a good idea to do it on the sneaker. But, you know, I really remember that this is how people like to wear their Air Jordan 4s and Air Jordan 3s back in the day. The 5 had a tongue that was too thick, but it worked great with these, and they would fold the tongue out and let their jeans go inside behind the tongue of the sneaker. And that was because Michael Jordan played with his tongue out. We never talk about that these days, but that's the way that it was. He played basketball with his tongue sticking out. And I remember we used to do that as kids just to like pretend to be Jordan and risk getting our tongues bitten off if we got into a bad foul. Inside you have a sculpted polyurethane insole that has the Jordan Jumpman logo and the Union text, as you know, as comparison to the OG Fire Red 4, which just said Jordan on the insole. Oh no, it just said Nike Air, sorry, on the insole. So that's one of the major differences. But they both use this very nice sculpted polyurethane midsole, which provides a good amount of comfort for the sneaker. All right, so that is a close look at the Air Jordan X Union 4. So it's I guess it's the Union X Air Jordan 4 Retro or Air Jordan 4 Retro Union collaboration. Gosh, one of those. But I said in the unboxing and the review of the Fire Red 4 that I thought the Fire Red 4, if you remove all of the collaborations from the discussion, this might very well be the best sneaker of 2020. However, if you consider all of the sneakers, I am going to make this one our pick. And the reason why is because I really feel like the story of Union was complete. They really did a lot with the collaboration. They made a unique sneaker, from something that's 30 years old. They told a story that was true to the original. I should mention that I swapped out the laces for the orange laces. They come pre-laced black, but I like these better. It just gives an extra pop of color, makes the sneaker feel a little bit more special. They told their own story. They didn't borrow, I guess, from other cultures. It's just true to their LA experience with the Jordan 4, growing up in the 90s and having Michael Jordan be your idol. And that's why you end up having things like the tongue sewn out to mimic Michael Jordan. And there you have it, the Union LA Air Jordan 4 Retro. I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. What is your sneaker of the year? What is your best pickup of the year? My name is Keo Kosha. Follow along on Instagram at Keo Kosha, at Ejimameg, and of course at Honeycomb Manila, our studio here. Subscribe. I wish you guys good luck. Wish you guys good health. I wish you guys a great 2021. Peace.